Jose, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Thank you for having me.
Um, let's talk about the immigrant experience during this period, especially the undocumented immigrant experience. Coronavirus has affected everyone. Everyone. But as an undocumented immigrant in America right now, there's a unique experience that is amplified by coronavirus. Could you tell us a little bit about what that is? Because you've been speaking so much on it.
Yeah, so I mean, our job at Define American is how do we humanize this issue so people can understand it, right? Wherever they are, whatever their experiences are. So to me, what's happening is it's exposing just how hypocritical we are as a society, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we rely on immigrant workers as quote unquote essential workers, yet we don't really want to treat them as essential people. We want to treat them as workers. Like, I'm lucky. I live in California. I'm in Berkeley, where I am right now. And in California, Governor Newsom is the only governor so far that has said that we're going to provide relief to undocumented workers who are actually part of our economy and part of our communities. That's not something that Governor Cuomo has done yet. That's not something that Texas, 1.7 million undocumented workers in the state of Texas. I mean, what would the construction industry, the agricultural industry, like, how would they survive without us? And yet, like, the response hasn't not only been fair, but been humane in this regard. So I remember I was reading this essay, and I think it was the Wall Street Journal, and by Susan Orlean, who I love. And the essay was, she said, never taking travel for granted again. And then I remember thinking, wait, as an undocumented person, we can't travel, right? There's only actually 12 states that allow undocumented people like me to drive, right? California is one of them. Like New York finally is making it happen. But the reality is undocumented immigrants are actually social distancing for us is not something that the pandemic brought. It's actually a way of life. It's our reality.
It's
So
interesting because for many on the right, coronavirus and the relief efforts actually created a bit of a storm in and around undocumented immigrants, because they said, well, this is another example of how undocumented immigrants want to leech off the system. You would see people online saying, why do they want our taxpayer money? Why should we pay for illegal immigrants who are in this country? How do you respond to somebody like that? Because I mean, you see it as a culture war online, and it gets stoked every single day from the top. But the question is, how do you even respond to somebody like that?
the fact that undocumented workers contribute billions of dollars in taxes and social security. If people knew that, it doesn't matter if you're left, right, center, if they knew the facts, then they wouldn't say that, right? I mean, look around. Who's working, right? So again, to me, what's been dangerous and hurtful is this thinking that immigrants are here just as labor. We're just here to work. There was a great quote that I think someone from the EU said that, oh, we asked for workers and they gave us people, right? Because we are people. But the reality is the way this administration, this very anti-immigrant administration, has been enacting policies, not only about undocumented immigrants, by the way. I mean, the reality is the assault is beyond the undocumented population, right? They're going after people seeking asylum. They're banning foreign students. They're ending work permits for talented international students. They're banning new green cards for 60 days. And of course, DACA, which I'm sure you're
Right,
you're
right,
aware about, right?
right,
Like
right.
right now, so we have what? 200,000 DACA recipients who are literally fighting this pandemic, hospital workers, food workers, farmers, teachers. And yet any day now, the Supreme Court can make a decision that says that they can no longer be here and
Yeah,
that
I
they can
won't
no
lie.
longer.
One of the more confusing things for me that struck me when I came to America was a little bit of the hypocrisy in the story, because I was shocked when I found out that you could be an undocumented worker in America but pay taxes. In fact, the IRS is more than happy to collect the tax from you, and so you're contributing to
More than
society.
happy.
But then at the same time, people make it seem like you're not a part of that society. And then again, that story came to the fore in coronavirus. You started seeing stories of how the meat processing plants, the farms, they said,
Yes.
hey, we would appreciate it right now if you didn't raid us or anything, because our workers are undocumented. The people who are delivering food, the people who are driving people around in Ubers, the people who are just, getting you around, getting your food to you, looking after you in hospitals, cleaning your house, whatever it is, these people are undocumented, and yet they seem to be very essential to the society. Do you think that there's a breakdown in how people perceive what an undocumented worker is?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why, when I came out as undocumented almost 9 years ago now, my purpose is, how do we change the narrative of this issue? How do we complicate it? How do we get it out of this Mexico border wall that it's stuck in, that helped elect Donald Trump? When in reality, undocumented people live with people who are US citizens by birth, right, or green card. It's called the mixed status family. Like right now, it's graduation season, right? So I don't know where I would be if it weren't for my teachers at Crittenden Middle School and at Mountain View High School, right? Like before there was a DREAM Act, before anybody knew what this was, my teachers were the ones who like made sure that I was more than pieces of papers, right? And so right now, actually at Define American, we're about to host an immigrant, like a graduation for immigrant students, from students from immigrant backgrounds, right? Because right now in this country, there's about 4 million K to 12th grade students who are immigrants or live with somebody who's undocumented. And the reality is, this is a really difficult time. So how do we celebrate them? So we're hosting this big immigrant on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Check it out. Go to defineamerican.com. And if you want some inspiration, go on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and just type immigrant. And you see stories of like first, second, third generation immigrant students who are here and who are honoring their parents for the sacrifices that they've made just so they can be here.
Jose, thank you so much for taking the time, and we will tell people to try and check out you said it's Immigrant.
Immigrant. It's a virtual graduation at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. There's a special guest. You'll love her. She's great. So please check it out on Sunday.
Thank you so much for being with us, Jose.
Thank you.